Hey guys, how's it going? This is Kuya Review coming at you with another movie review. This time it's going to be on Fede Alvarez's new thriller suspense movie, Don't Breathe. It was really good, I have to admit. But there are going to be spoilers in this video like my previous videos, of course. So if you haven't seen the movie or if you don't want to hear any spoilers, go ahead and check out a different video and watch that instead. If you don't care and you've seen the movie or for some reason you don't care about spoilers, then go ahead and continue watching this video. But let's go ahead and get this review started. Basically, the whole premise is that there are three kids stealing from other people's houses in their neighborhood in order to make some cash. Well, they get a hit on this guy that's apparently an old military veteran, blind, and lives alone in his neighborhood. So the deal is there's $300,000 in his house. They decide to take the job and go in and steal the money and get out. That was their original plan, but of course, nothing is ever that simple, right? It stars Jane Levy, Fede Alvarez as main lead, and of course Stephen Lang as the main antagonist. Of course, when Stephen Lang's on film, you know it's going to be a really good movie, and he does an amazing job being an antagonist for this movie. What I love about any horror, thriller, or suspense movie is their use of space and sound. Because when I watch horror movies, the most effective elements for me is the element of surprise. So the thing is, if your protagonist doesn't know anything about the situation, but you as the audience is viewing it, that, you know, it gives it that extra suspense feeling where it's like, turn around, you know, look behind you, there's someone there, but the protagonist doesn't know anything, you know? So that's what this movie had. It had a lot of usage of that. Even in the beginning shot, the camera movement just pans throughout the whole entire room, so you know where everything is, what everything's the purpose of the movie, and it shows like the weapons being used at the final battle and all that stuff. So like you get a good scope of what the room is, so you as the audience can interpret where and what direction is the villain coming from. Another element to it is that the sound. The sound in this movie is so good. You could hear the footsteps, a little crackling of the glass. You could hear the falling of someone coming through the ceiling. You could hear them breathing. So it adds that extra suspense in it. You have the protagonist trying to hide from Stephen Lang. He's coming around the corner, but he doesn't see the protagonist. So the protagonist has to like lean against the wall and make sure like they don't, you know, breathe and they don't make any sound in order to hear him, because, you know, their one weakness is sound. So I love the use of that. He was pretty much he did use his hearing now and then, but I wish it was more, I guess, more involved. It also showed that the antagonist had other senses aside from his hearing. He had the inept sense of smell and all that, so it was really cool. The villain never really spoke in this movie until like the very last act where he finally does speak, and funny thing is, like when I first heard it, I started chuckling a little bit because he kind of sounded like Bane when you first heard him, Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. And but all in all, this whole movie experience was amazing. I love the use of camera. I love the use of the how they shot the angles. I love the use of sound in this movie. There's a lot of jump scares in this, but they weren't false jump scares. They were like actually like it was really frightening. It was there to jump out at you. And I've been seeing that recently with other horror movies now then, so I really hope that's the direction that this is going through, because this is what I love about horror movies. It's the fact of the space being used, the sound being used. Those are major, definitely major players in a horror movie. So basically at the last ending scene, it was a little controversial for me. I didn't know if I liked it or didn't like it. I thought it was really good how the setup was. It was very mutual, and this is why, because the antagonist, you think that he's dead. Jane Levy leaves the house with the $300,000, escapes town, flies to California with her little sister, but while they're at the airport, she sees a little screen, the TV, about the robbery. They say that the antagonist, Stephen Lang, said to the reporters that nothing was really stolen, but because of the events of the house, the two boys being murdered, you know, the story was he was getting robbed while Stephen Lang defended himself, and that there was no one else there. There was just him and the two boys that were killed, that he killed. Jane Levy had nothing to do with it, apparently. That's what the report said in the news. So it left it at that little cliffhanger kind of thing, and I was like, oh, okay, that's an interesting take to it. Anyways, she takes the sister and goes to their terminal, and they fly off to California. And that's how it pretty much ends there. But anyways, throughout the whole entire movie, I was thrilled, I was suspensed, I was horrified in some scenes. So it really did what it needed to do as for this film. Fede Alvarez knocked it out of the park for this one too, and if you've seen my first review on The Evil Dead, you know I like that movie too. That's pretty much it, my review for Don't Breathe. Comment below if you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you haven't seen it, you're gonna go check it out because of this review, you know. Thank you so much. Subscribe, rate, comment, and I'll see you in the next review, guys. Bye.